everyone. We have Mitansh with us today. Mitansh has made us proud because he has got a very nice rank in CLAT. Mitansh, would you like to tell it from yourself? What was your air rank?
Yes, ma'am, sure. I scored All India at 194 and my score was 92.25.
My God. So, at times students just dream of this rank and your dream probably has come true. So, any preferences while you were preparing that you thought that I would want to go into this NLU and now you feel that the dream has come true?
Um, my preference always was NLSIU Bangalore, but unfortunately that I don't think will be possible with my rank. But I
Okay.
always dreamed of Nalsar and Jodhpur as well. So I believe probably I'll get into either of those. Depends when the counseling process, goes forward.
These
Depends
are
on
the
that.
top NLUs. Anyways, these are the top
Yeah,
NLUs.
yeah.
Whichever you go into, I think your fate will not be decided by one particular NLU only. If you do well in those NLUs too, and later in your life, I think everything is accumulative. It's not just
Yes,
dependent
ma'am.
upon one institution.
Yes.
So, anyways, we are still very glad that you're here with us.
Yeah.
And so are the viewers who might be watching this video, and they might have one question that if I also want to get such air rank, what do I do? I have too many resources to refer to for GK. And the paper being so unpredictable this time might come next time too. So what is that one funda that you would want to say which will definitely work for GK?
First of all, we need to acknowledge the fact that there is an overabundance of resources for GTA, and not only GTA, but for all the other sections as well, I believe. And that can become very exhausting and it can lead an aspirant to be fatigued by the sheer amount of choices available to themselves.
Yes.
So, what worked for me was, which I'll advocate for others as well, is that stick to what you know will work. Like, for example, I used to do NewsCanvass resources and the monthly compendium, which used to come from 12 minutes to CLAT. So
Yes.
all of that was what helped me in my GT preparation. But I think the biggest thing you have to keep in mind is that GT will always be unpredictable. So prepare for the worst and just make sure that whatever comes, you don't panic in the time of the examination. And even if the GT you're not able to attempt very much, just keep a calm head and go ahead with the other sections confidently, because GT only makes up a portion of the entire examination, not the entirety of it. So do not
Right.
worry too much about it and just make sure you keep revising those topics regularly and you'll be pretty good enough.
So it's usually said man proposes, God disposes. And when, the paper might have come in front of you, you might have seen that the number of passages and the number of questions each passage might entail has become vice versa. So did you find it very challenging to first make yourself very calm, composed, and then proceed? Or you just took a minute and then proceeded ahead?
I think what helped me the most to remain calm in the examination environment was the 15 minutes which I had given before the paper begins was very instrumental for me, because that is when I did some breath work and calmed myself down. I thought about how prepared I was for the examination and that whatever happens now, that's what's going to help me decide my future. So
Yeah.
that helped me remain calm and keep a level head. Apart from that, know the amount of questions which varied and the amount of passages which varied, that did not throw me off, because the sample papers released by the consortium's website, even they have an inconsistent number of passages per section. So I do not worry too much about that, because at the end of the day, the content will not differ much. So the number of the passages does not really matter, because you know that roughly 30 questions will come from English. That won't change much. That will
Yeah.
suddenly become 50. So it's fine. So you just do what's in front of you and don't worry too much about anything else.
Right. And as you said that, despite the overabundance of resources available for GK and even other subjects, one should stick to what one is doing. So when you say one should stick to what one is doing, do you also mean that even while you are done with a portion from probably a concept from one's resource, even while revising towards the exam approaching, you should do it from that resource only and not jump to other resources?
If that works for the candidate, I guess sure, because this is a very subjective issue. So what might work for me will not work for others, and what might work for them
Yeah.
won't work for me. What I used to do in the end was that once I've done studying a particular subject topic for GTA, like for example, I do 10 to 15 topics a day, or in the end, I at least used to revise that number of topics. What I used to
Yes.
do when I had some time left, like maybe 3 months or maybe even a month left before CLAT, I
Yeah.
used to make my own notes, and I used to actively recall what I just read and what I learned about the topic. So, for example, if it's the 36th National Games, I used to actively recall that it was held in Gandhinagar in Gujarat, and these are
Yeah.
the teams which won. And you actively recall that. So, not only are you revising that on the spot as well, but your own notes will help you much more than anything else written by somebody else, because you have your own pattern of studying down with yourself. So if you stick to that, I guess you'll do fine. Otherwise, you can, if you feel
That,
like
I
you want to
think
do
that
something else in
brings
between,
me to the fact that you might not have a group study wala pattern. You started it on your own.
yeah.
Right.
No, I
Okay.
did both. So in the
Okay.
beginning, I think every aspirant does go through a group study phase
Yeah.
because everyone's very excited about it and everyone tries to form groups. But at the end of the day, it boils down to that some people just might not be able to work on some other people's timelines. They might be busy doing their own stuff outside of CLAT
Yes.
as well. So that
Yes.
is something you have to keep in mind. And group studies, I believe, are a very helpful thing to do for a student because it takes some of the burden off of CLAT. You don't feel so alone in this entire process because it can be quite taxing on, one student to prepare everything by themselves. So yes, in that regard, groups are important. I did have a group myself of around 10 to 15 people in my
Okay.
batch of career launcher.
Right.
But all the studying which we did, that was all individual. And
Yeah.
we used to maybe, come together sometime and then discuss GT or just talk about how our days went, what we are
Yeah.
doing currently, stuff like that.
Yes. And also, when I talk about the resources from NewsCanvass, so you went through the daily updates, event analyzed, weekly quiz, monthly quiz, everything?
Yeah, I used to do mostly to monthly and weekly quiz because I
Okay.
thought that the daily thing was a little bit too much for me. It was very
Okay.
overwhelming for me to do all of that. But
Yeah.
I did go through the monthly events and weekly events.
Okay. So you went through the monthly quiz and the daily quiz. And how about GK Shorts and Sarthi? Did you also have a look at those?
I guess I did look at a few GTA shots. Yes, I
Okay.
did. And the quizzes which were at the end of the news canvas letterhead,
Daily
that was the
updates and
most
event
important
analyzed.
ones. Yeah,
Yes.
because that helps you revise quickly.
I think, yeah, because, the more you test yourself on certain parameters, the more you prepare. So those quizzes might be just like mini mocks for you, which,
Yeah,
if 5 questions out of 5 you did 4 correct, so it's like, okay, 80% तैयारी हो गई. So वैसा एक अंदर feeling आ जाता है. Right.
yeah,
So
yeah. It does.
any last minute tips for someone who might not have begun even till June or July and the paper is in December. So are just last 6 months enough if you begin and do it religiously?
Yes, ma'am. I would like to answer this question very honestly because I used to watch interviews of toppers and go through what they said, and they were doing intense preparation from a year out or probably 6 months out. And the majority of my preparation was very last minute. And I don't think I even started studying religiously until probably 1.5 months were left before CLAT. So until
No.
mid-October or early November, I was not very religious with it because I did not need to study that much personally. Because English, logic, and leader was something which I could easily do in the paper itself and in the mods which came out. So majority of my preparation before 1 month of CLAT was just doing mods which came out weekly and maybe a few sections here and there. But the biggest thing you have to keep in mind is that you don't have to look behind how much time is gone because it won't help you. Just keep reminding yourself that you still have some time left. And even if it's a week left to CLAT, do not give up, give yourself a fighting chance, and maybe you will do it as well. So how much time you have left does not actually matter. Keep doing what you are doing and increase the efforts if you feel so, but do not panic. That's the main thing.
Yeah, and I'm so thankful for the time that you've given us. And you said that you were in a position when you used to watch topper interviews. And I'm so
Yeah, yeah.
happy and elated that now students will watch your interview as a topper interview. And I think that's something which, is a self-appreciation to what all hard work that you did. Because yes, we can provide resources, we can provide you guidance, and others can also do the same. But if you don't do what you just said, do not panic, and if you don't do all those things which you actually did, I think this would not have been possible. So hearty
Yes, ma'am.
congratulations to yourself,
Thank you. Thank you.
to you being you, and hearty congratulations to everybody at home, everybody who is related to you in some way or the other, because we are actually boastfully very much taking credit of your achievements. But I think, your collar has to be up, and you're anyways wearing a collar wala shirt. So that goes very much with you.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
But
Yes, ma'am.
the team News Canvas, everybody, not only me, but everyone from News Canvas wishes you all the very best for your future, because this journey has
Thank
just
you.
begun and
Yes,
everything in
ma'am.
your life is just yet to come.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
wish you
Thank
all
you.
the very best. And thank you so very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
God bless. Yeah, that's it from my
Yes.
side. Thank you.